Welcome everybody to the Other Sagas. My name is Eleanor Di Lorenzo, and with me today I have Sydney, Emmanuel, and Anne Richmond, and we're talking about hypothermia.
Why do I feel like we're gonna fight?
Yep. Fight.
This is
fight,
like
fight.
a wrestling. No, this is like a wrestling.
Yeah, I feel like I should be like,
one corner we have
da-da-da. Who's the heel?
Ellie.
Ellie's the announcer. One of us has to be the hero.
She can
I
also be
feel
the
like
heel.
it's you, and then I'll just be the rampant asshole.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
In one corner we have Sydney
Sydney.
Emmanuel, and then the other
Richmond.
I wonder.
Boo! No.
I think that would be a lot of fun to spend money on, like gamble. I've been missing gambling lately.
Wow, that came out of left field.
No, but I think isn't that the
Do people
part?
Is it always that you bet on wrestling matches?
I think you do, right? Sydney, you know everything.
Wrestling is not my specialty. I mean, you can bet on anything. Anything could be gambling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Ellie, if you miss it that much, you could be doing it this whole time.
Okay. I bet. Okay, here's my bet. I think,
Uh-oh.
given you guys' history playing this game, I think. Okay, here's my bet, and here's my observation, and then I will be followed with my bet. My observation is that you two have gotten a little bit more reckless with your Vasen gaming, even though you did get a big ass punch in the face with the first characters, and so you've been better now.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have a sense that you guys will be like, no, Ellie won't kill us twice. And so my bet is that one of you will die.
Who were you betting against? Who were you gonna...
And I bet $50.
$50.
I'll
Do I
take
get
that
the
bet,
$50 if I
baby.
live? Like, what's the bet against?
That's true. Actually, this doesn't make any sense. Okay, maybe I'll bet with my listeners.
I don't know if you know this, Ellie, but they're not
Oh,
here, honey. It's just us
Okay.
chickens. Wait, do we not understand gambling? Because if you had bet that that one of us would die and then one of us just YOLO'd our character off a cliff, you would still be the one that got $50, but only if one of us bet
Right.
you that we would both survive. That's how gambling
Yeah.
works.
That's how it works.
You're
Yeah,
welcome,
yeah.
Internet.
Thank you,
in
Anne.
case you, sorry. Yeah, and that was for everyone else and not for me because I knew and I wasn't just trying to make sure that I understood gambling. I've only gambled one time and it went very badly very quickly and I would never do it again.
Well, is gambling also considered when you do these tests or like you injure yourself because you don't want to be like a weak pussy or whatever? Like, you would use an eraser on your hand and like burn your... Okay,
What are you
guys apparently
talking
did not
about?
do this. Based on your
That's not
faces, you did not
gambling.
do this as a
How
child.
would that be
Okay, cool.
gambling?
What? That's self-harm.
No, okay, cool. I had to do that because otherwise... Okay, I was bullied.
You were tricked.
I
All right,
love that Ellie is just recognizing her fucking trauma right now. She's like, I was bullied. I guess that's the truth of my existence.
Now that I think about it, I wasn't gambling, it was threats. It was threats. My brother did it to me all the time. He was like, if you don't pick the cherry, like if you don't take apples from the neighbors, I'm gonna
Oh, God.
do
Here we
this to-"
fucking go again
Oh,
with
yeah.
these goddamn
yeah.
apple thieves. God.
Okay.
This old chestnut.
This old chestnut dude, yeah. I don't know if Sydney knows this, but in Sweden, all kids steal apples.
That can't be right.
It's like a real thing, and no one believed me when I told people it the first time. It's like even a board game called like Take Apples. It's the actual like direct translation of it. Like it's called Take Apples, and then on the picture of the board game, it's little children who like looks like Dennis the Menace, and then an old man in the background whose apples are being stolen.
Is this
and
just
he's like,
because
"Fuck you, kids."
everybody has apple trees? So like boring, like bored kids in Sweden are like, what to do today? Let's go steal some apples.
Are you talking about apples to apples and you just remember it wrong?
No.
Or are you...
No. I have played Apples to Apples. It's the one that it's like Cards Against Humanity or something.
Yeah.
But for
kind of. It's
children.
like comparing things.
Nope. This is actual going into someone's lawn and taking their
No,
shit.
and you misheard her. It's take
Run away.
apples. Come on, you know that one.
You know, the seminal classic. It's just as big as Monopoly in some circles.
Well, okay. That was
Move
my...
over, Ticket to Ride. It's time to take apples. This Gen Con,
Yo, I just played
a restored classic
Ticket to
from
Ride. I just
Sweden.
played that for the first time. It's so fun.
It is so fun.
I have not played
There's a reason
Ticket
it's
to
an
Ride.
evergreen.
Okay, so what's Ticket to Ride about?
Oh, Ellie, you'd love it. It's about trains.
Like, choo choo, doo doo doo. Okay.
Choo choo. She actually did it right that time. She did it right. Choo choo.
I know. That's why I'm laughing. So Ticket to Ride is a board game about building a railroad line like across the United States. I think there might be different games with different maps in different countries and
Yeah,
stuff.
What?
and you
Actually,
get
that sounds
points for like
amazing.
connecting different
the
ports. and things
European
like
one
that.
is apparently like better than the original because the map is more balanced. It's like a more versatile map that you would
Yeah.
use better. They just improved on the original. But Ellie, it's fun because it's all of Europe and like even more. I think like maybe some of like Russia, maybe, but basically like you get destinations and the goal is to complete your train line to certain destinations, and the harder and longer that the destinations are, the more points. So like it would ask you to do like Stockholm to London, and you have to figure out how to make your train take your passengers from Stockholm to London. But meanwhile all the other players are also, so it's like Catan. Everybody is building and like cutting each other off and stuff. It's really fun. We
Yeah.
should play
The
it.
problem with Catan and I would love to play this, but the problem with I think with these types of games, and it's the same thing with like Civilization and all these sort of virtual board games as well, is that if you get a shitty starting point, it's really hard to bounce back from. But I really want to try this though. I'll buy the European one. I'll go and see if they
You
sell it.
should. It's like honestly, people. It's one of the like must have. Everybody has it on their shelves games. I don't have it because I'm a poser. I'm a fake nerd. But like it's very very lauded. So it's worth the price of admission.
I
so
have
to
it,
speak.
Ellie, so you
definitely
don't
pick
have
it
to
up.
buy
You'll
it.
enjoy
When you're back, we can just play it. All of us, and you can play too.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy. I'm the opposite of Anne. I don't buy things.
I'm a materialist. I'm a maximalist.
I hate storing anything.
Well, you guys should come over because I have my like crazy nice game table.
Ooh.
Oh, you're right.
And
You
we
have
should
that
have-
wormwood thing.
Oh, I'm down.
Well, speaking of wood,
Penises.
we wouldn't be our pod if it wasn't penis talk. Nope, we're gonna
Welcome to the peen pod.
we're gonna talk about we actually started before we started recording. We started talking about hypothermia because last week, fucking Sydney failed a force check and nearly died, and you saw something that made you feel good inside.
Also, it was a
Right?
really hard check. So I like lost. I
That's true.
failed one time, and then it was like, and you're on the brink of death.
Ellie loves
Um,
those though.
But yeah, I know it's a little surprise. Like, oops, you made a mistake, and good luck coming back from this one. But
Yeah.
I saw a figure. I think it was a woman in like a blue coat, and they were like, join my realm or like cross over my realm. And then suddenly Vanessa was like really at peace with dying and was taking off her gloves and was like, all right, actually I feel
Kinda
really
nice.
warm. Yeah, she like had nice memories about Christmas time and she was ready to go, but then Mary pulled her back to reality.
And you were nearly eating your hand.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, so but then Ilya led the way and Vlada found you as well to get both of you back to the inn, and it dawned on you both that you are stuck in the middle of nowhere, probably going to be very late to this party that you were hoping to go to.
I have a feeling
this is
the real party is in this horrible house in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, really?
a
Oh,
weird
I don't
feeling.
think so at all. My bet $50 that you're
Ellie's
wrong.
covering her
Ow.
mouth
Actually, just kidding.
again.
Take that.
She's covering her mouth again. She's hiding
I'll
a
never
smile.
take that bet. God, your tell is the worst tell.
I know. I need to never record on video again.
Then it's even worse. You just every time you lie to us, you turn your video off and then turn it back on. What's wrong? I have connection issues.
So Just turn
Turn
it
it
off.
off. You're such a little brat, Ellie.
Um,
I love
okay,
you.
we're back, and the thing what you notice when you step into this inn is that it's like an onslaught of the opposite from outside. Like there's a blizzard raging outside, but as soon as you walk in, it's extremely cozy. There's like this wall of warm air and fresh smell of tasty food. And you don't have to roll in empathy or observation to realize that this is the reality. This is not just some fake snow monster reality that's trying to manipulate you into thinking something else. And as you're smelling this great food, you realize that you haven't eaten in hours. And inside, there's a huge dining room with maybe 7 or 8 other patrons. And to the left, Vilma, the lady, the fair lady, she's already being tended to by a waitress and is drinking something hot from a mug. And inside this dining room, there's also a brick stove with a fireplace and a huge bear skin in front of it. And there's also an open wooden staircase that leads to the second floor. And to the other side, there's another door that leads to the staff quarters. I'd like to think that the two of you are completely covered in white, icy snow, and you look really dumb. A tall, broad-shouldered man approaches you. Welcome to Tamsalu Inn. My name is Axel, and I'm the innkeeper. I heard from Miss Avsint, and he points to Velma. Velma, not Vilma. Whatever. That you were in a terrible accident, so please come in and warm yourself up. Here, Imre, please. And a young man with charming eyes, he walks up to you and takes all your coats, and before you know it, the two of you and Vlada, you're all sitting by the fire with a warm cup of mulled wine in your hands. And you notice a long-haired, gray old cat jumps down from one of the seats and moves out of the room.
Well, we should try to figure out what our transportation away from this place will be once we are done, and if there's in fact room for us here, I suppose. And you, Vanessa, come by the fire. And she sort of sets you up with Vlada and starts like trying to assess any lasting damage or anything that has gone on.
I am okay, Mary. Thank you. I'm much warmer now. This innkeeper seems to be friendly. Perhaps they have room for us. I do not foresee being able to travel through this storm, day or night, without being able to see the road before us. The markers are gone off the roads. It's far too dangerous. Perhaps our best option is to simply wait it out.
What a dreadful inconvenience. Garçon! She moves on over towards the innkeeper and says, hello. Good day to you. I am Mary Smythe of the Royal Shakespeare Academy. Nope. Theatre. Troupe. It's fine. Moving on. The cold has addled me greatly. Listen, we were on the road and we were run off the road by the storm, and now we're here, and well, I suppose I could prevail upon you for some kindness and, of course, accommodations.
Absolutely. You are welcome to stay here for as long as you want. Of course, if you want to stay longer than the storm lasts, I might have to eventually ask you for some sort of payment, but for now, of course, I would not want either of you to go out into this storm. You would certainly freeze to death. There's been plenty of accidents around here, and he strikes you suddenly as a little sad when he says that. But
does this sort of thing happen often?
The gentleman over there, and he points to other patrons, two young men, pretty handsome. They mentioned that they'd been investigating some sort of accident that happened a couple of weeks ago, and I also feel like this cold. It's been brutal, and we've had a really hard time warming up this house. But I think The three of you, yes, the three of you could definitely find accommodation up there if you would want that.
Indeed, we certainly would like a base of operations while we wait out the storm. You said there was some sort of accident, and those gentlemen there, they had to investigate. I shall return. Hello, gentlemen. And she sort of makes her way over to the other side of the room and beckons Vanessa over, and she says, "Good day, gentlemen. I'm Mary Smythe of the Royal Shakespeare Theatre. I'm sure you've heard of me."
Really? Miss Smythe, was it?
Oh, yes.
Huh.
You are too kind to recognize me. Of course, she says this after having been like, "I'm sure you recognize me." But she accepts any and all accolades at all times. And she sort of extends a hand to greet them both. And she says, "I am something of a fan of mystery. And I hear you are running some sort of investigation."
Indeed. And he looks at you for a second, observing you. "My name is Samuel Campbell, and this is my brother, Daniel Campbell." And you notice that Samuel has a bunch of books in front of him that's like on paranormal stuff, and you instantly recognize that. But Daniel seems like he's a little bit more reserved, so Samuel is the one who's talking. "I am the younger brother, and we are investigators of unexplained deaths. And there was a recent one that we investigated. Nothing more than that, really. And now we're just riding out the storm because it's quite gnarly out there, right?"
You said that you were investigating and found nothing. You are professional investigators, I take it?
Oh, did I say we found nothing? We found plenty. I'm just not sure that, no offense, ladies, but you just walked in here 30 minutes ago, covered in snow, on the brink of dying, and I frankly feel a little bit taken aback. Roll manipulation with, like, -2.
Oh. Damn it.
Here we go again, Sid.
Oh my god, 3 successes. I think Vanessa, she did come in like on the brink of death, but she does have her strength back, and I think maybe she's just coming on like quite strong, and maybe they're just surprised by it, and like it could be amusing. It could be like this weird nun.
Okay,
But-
well, I suppose I don't have anything better to do. Oh, so you are friends of Constantine as well, then? I take it? Is that where
Yes,
two
we
of you
were
heading?
we were headed this way, of course, to go to his gathering, and we are so sad to not be able to make it along the way in a timely fashion, but perhaps we can be of help to you.
Ah, of course, of course. He glances towards Axel, the innkeeper, and he's like, perhaps we should lower our voices a little bit for the ones who might not be as well versed as some of us when it comes to certain matters.
Would you like to retire upstairs to a private room? I'm sure we could arrange it.
They both look at each other because that would be incredibly inappropriate. And he starts blushing, and Daniel's like, my lady, I think it would be proper if we stay here, but we can lower our voices, perhaps.
You'll have
And they both start blushing.
Yeah.
More.
She says,
They look at the nun, and they're like,
I did not
I,
suggest this. I did not say that.
"You'll have to
Right.
pardon the already tarnished reputation of an actress. You see, treading the boards already makes you susceptible to all sorts of common conversation and assumptions about one's character. But Surely, if you are offended, please understand that I meant nothing by it except the privacy that would afford us to truly engage one another in stimulating conversation. And of course, she says stimulating in a way to make them even more uncomfortable, but not in an
Yeah.
actually flirtatious way.
He drops his fork. No. um. Well, and he looks around, making sure that no one is eavesdropping. So, I don't know if you know how much exposed you've been to certain things, but the two of us, we're ghost hunters. We've recently investigated several mysterious deaths between Jamberg and Narva. Multiple people had been killed in strange accidents where their carriages had run off the road. And one poor soul survived long enough to tell us that he had seen a woman in white on the road just before he lost control of the horses. Now, I'm sure you know that white ladies, they come in many forms. They are usually the revenant of a woman who was betrayed and murdered, or who died a violent death by her own hand because of unrequited love. But we did some investigation, speaking with the locals, our due diligence, and we realized that it could be the revenant of a woman who was murdered by her own groom on the way home from a wedding. She has haunted the roads around the village ever since, mad with grief and revenge. We searched the woods, and eventually we found her body in a clearing. She was still wearing her wedding dress, with her head tilted in an unnatural angle. But then suddenly we could see her in front of us. I don't know if you know this, but restless spirits, they are violent, and she slammed Daniel here into a tree with such force that it knocked him senseless. Daniel shows you a bruise on his upper hand. But that was the last time she exacted her revenge, and her ghost turned to dust before our eyes. So we believe that we solved it, is what I'm saying.
Do you think this revenant would have any control over things like storms and weather?
Oh, no. No, this is just... I suppose this is just an extraordinarily cold winter, even for this area. They do have brutal winters, but this one seemed particularly cold, and I just think it's... He sounds like a climate change skeptic. It's like, it's just the sun. Sunspots. No.
Daniel, is it?
Done. The brother who is more quiet speaks up, yes?
Do you know anything about a lady in blue?
Lady in blue. Like a ghost? Or a haunted spirit?
That is what I am asking you. Perhaps there is reoccurrences of this type of phantasma, but it might not be a ghost. Have you had experience outside of just ghosts? And she looks at Samuel.
We've mostly encountered ghosts. That's what and you see that his books are mostly on haunted spirits, but tell me, why do you ask? I would love to know.
During the storm, when our carriage got into the accident, I was lost in the blizzard. And it felt abnormal. I could not see or hear anyone around me, despite being not far from Mary when we fell. But then I saw a woman, something, not human perhaps, but they called out to me and they wanted me to come to them or to where they were. I can't quite understand, but I felt like I should. I felt suddenly at peace and warm, no longer afraid, no longer lost. There has been multiple times in my life where I have felt the little hairs on my neck stand straight. It is an indication of something different. And I felt that in this moment, despite feeling at peace. I felt something was unnatural. And then, as quickly as I heard it, I felt Mary pull me aside, and we found the inn, and it, like a dream when you wake up, it sort of disappeared.
Morozko, you hear from behind you a woman sitting by the fire, knitting. It's one of the other patrons who've been clearly eavesdropping. She is wearing a traditional Votic costume, which is sort of the native group of people who live in this area, and has beautiful white long hair and a embroidered headdress. She's been mostly humming this entire time, and you haven't really paid attention to it, but then actually roll like a learning. Well, actually, since you heard it before from Vlada, you sort of recognize it. It's similar tunes that Vlada's been singing, and Vlada has actually been looking at her this entire time. This woman turns towards you. You encountered Morozko, or Father Frost, as you would say in your language. But I like that you saw a lady that is rare and that says something about you. And you'll notice that a lot of people have sort of gathered around you to listen in a little bit on these stories. Vilma joins you as well, and everyone except Axel and the staff, who seems to be busy in the kitchen and doing their thing, seems to be very much into these Vassinesque stories.
Morozko. Interesting. They are common where you are from. No?
How shall I say this? It's not animals. They are, or like more of a kind. They're more like a goddess, god, spirit, the realm. This is their realm. You know, I've only encountered them once, and she starts singing again in this language that you don't understand, but one of the brothers explained to you that in this song they will tell you it contains a story, and he sort of translates as she's singing. And what she's singing is that in one of the neighboring villages there was once a woman who had a daughter that she adored and the stepdaughter that she hated. And one day that woman told her husband to take the stepdaughter out into the winter fields and leave her there to die. Blinded by love, he obeyed. Morozko found her there. But she was polite and kind to him, so he gave her a chest full of beautiful things and fine garments. A few days later, the stepmother sent the girl's father to bring back her body so she could be buried. But then he found her alive by a tree, surrounded with precious gifts. And when the stepmother saw what the girl had brought back, she then told her husband to leave her own daughter out into the wintry cold. But unlike her stepsister, this child was rude to Morozko, and so he froze her to death. Her mother bitterly regretted what she had done, and that she had not taught her daughter kindness. And that's when you notice that Axel has joined the room. Ah, you're talking about Morozko, the winter god. Yes, Esther, my sister, always used to say that human kindness is the one thing that one can't. Well, the one thing that can ward off the cold.
Is this Morosco more bitter this year than others?
Mm. Oh no, unrelated. Unrelated. Morozko always here. Morozko is winter. When you're cold, when you're close to death, Morozko appears.
Oh,
I believe.
duh. I understand. Morosco is not the cause. Morosco is simply to guide you.
Duh. And you get to know this Runo singer's name. Her name is Karin Karasheva, and she's a Votic Runo singer who travels around the world travels around this area to sing and keep local creation myths. She knows hundreds of stories about vast and powerful people and wizards.
Sick.
Um,
That's
and
awesome.
then in the and then there's and the last person. Actually, no, you've met everyone now. Vilma is there. The innkeeper's there. Yeah, those are the NPCs that are currently at the in the dining room.
Okay.
You've met. So Vilma, and then you have the staff, which is this cook. Yeah, you don't need to know the you don't need to know every single person, but there's plenty of like people in there that you could talk to and also
the Votic singer's name is what's her name?
Karin Karacheva or Karaskeva. Karin Karaskeva.
Okay, interesting.
Well, I see that you have all been introduced to one of my favorite traditions at this inn. It's the story night. But the two of you must be exhausted, and tomorrow night, when you're still here, I would love to welcome you to share your stories, should you have any.
My name is Vanessa Angel. Pleasure to meet you.
Sister, you are welcome to this inn. And though I may not be of the Catholic faith, know that anyone who walks with God is always welcome here.
Thank you. I think Vanessa like takes a tea and goes up to the room to lay down. Now she has like a headache. You know when you thaw out, like you just like everything's kind of throbbing and she needs to lie down.
Very well. Breakfast is served at 8 a.m. tomorrow. I hope to see you.
Is this guy American?
I have been thinking about like what NPCs I was gonna do. He's actually Swedish, but I'm so sick of doing the Swedish accent. And but so he's just he's trying. He's like a businessman. That's the description of him. So I just wanted to get like the Wall Streety 50s guy.
Okay,
amazing.
I like it. No, I like it.
But yeah, so you go to sleep. You got a lot of information out sooner than I thought. The two, I was like, okay, I guess we're just gonna jump right into it.
Going in there.
But yeah, so you when you talk a little bit more with the brothers, you realize that they were also on their way to Konstantinovich's mansion. And Vilma talks a lot more with them. They seem to hit it off a little bit. But she's also quite scarred from the accident, so she also goes to bed. And it's the next morning. You do realize... Oh, is there anything else you want to do before you go to bed?
I think Mary is going to get a lay of the land as far as where everybody else is staying that they met downstairs. And she wants to sit up late a little bit at night and just sort of experience the energy of this place when it's quiet, when she can maybe sit down reading a book or something in that entryway in the inn after everybody else has kind of gone to sleep, and just wants to observe any changes, whether it gets extra cold once people and the way they're, treating each other and being with each other are gone? Does it get colder and things like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, so I sent the two of you 2 maps of the inn and also of like the surrounding area. So you can see at the ground floor there, you're currently in the dining hall, which is this open space
Yeah.
that I described before. And then to the right, there's the kitchen, and then there's the staff room, storage, all
Yeah.
that stuff. And then upstairs, there's the guest rooms to the left, and then to the right, there's there's Axel's room, the innkeeper's room, and then his sister's room, Esther, who has only been mentioned. He only mentioned once so far, and with a sadness to it. So you don't really know what that was about. But as you're sitting down there, yes, you do notice that it's getting a little bit colder. It seems like the fire seems to start struggling, but
Yeah.
that might also just be because the temperature is still decreasing outside, and the blizzard is not subsiding by any means currently. But as you're sitting there, taking anything in, you notice that cat again, and it's sort of like staring at you with a grumpy look, similar to one of your cats. And,
Yeah. I
or
can really
your
take
one
that
cat.
in based on personal
Yeah.
experience with the breed.
And as you make your way up later, when you get tired, suddenly the cat is in front of you, and you have to roll an agility to make sure you don't stumble. on
Oh
it.
God, what have I done? All right, Zeke. Oh yeah, baby. That is 0 successes for an old lady with a cane.
Yeah, you fall over and take a physical condition.
What is wrong with you, Ellie? Does anybody else have anything they want to do before bed? I'm now battered and exhausted. Now see here, kitty.
The cat disappears, and it's like it was never there. So you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And yeah, so next day.
Cool. What I was gonna do while I was down there, if that's okay,
Yeah,
is
and not break your
yeah
leg. Hip bone.
pre-breaking of any appendages. She was gonna go to the kitchen and get like a little bread and honey, and then open the front door and just stand out there and lay it in the snow and then close the door.
Interesting. All right. So when you wake up the next day, you notice that the inn seems a little warmer, although the storm outside is still raging. Not as violently as it did the night before, but still, there's no way for you to basically get out of there. But yeah, interesting. So
Sneaky.
sneaky. Anyway, next day, you have breakfast.
Vanessa, do you think how are you doing, condition wise? What are you out of 4 hit points? How many do you have?
I only had the exhausted physical condition.
Okay.
But I'm recovered now, right, from a full night's rest. For
Heal physical to use medicine in a safe location to heal 3 conditions per success for someone else, including broken.
Oh, okay. So I would assume that Vlada or Mary would roll that as I was by the fire, as if you know they were like using. Because I was just exhausted, so I think giving me food and tea and warmth would like heal me.
Do you want to have Vlada roll that, because I am not medically inclined at all, or caretaking?
Vlada, I'm gonna say, since you guys rolled so well in the manipulation and had like a good time, I'm gonna say that you heal all of your, like you feel like maybe have 1 condition left.
Okay.
2 of you. But
I
like
only had 1.
Okay, so you're good then. Did
And
you have a mental one as well from the force? No, or the freeze? No. Then you guys, I think maybe you, Mary, have 1. Like you feel a little bit exhausted still from the last breaking your hip bone on the stairs. But
Okay, sounds good.
so you were mostly refreshed the next day.
Do you want to? Do you have medicine skill, Vanessa?
Do I have medicine skill? No. Oh wait, yes.
Cool.
Let me roll for you.
That'd be great.
Oh, I'm
Love
actually,
it.
yeah. Let's see. I'm not that bad, so let's see. Oh, one success.
So
Hooray!
you get 3 conditions back.
All right.
And we don't even have to cheat. Great.
Huzzah. I love that for us. Thank you for that massage. My hip. You knew that cat. That little piece of shit tripped me on the stairs last night.
Mary, it is just a cat.
I've never liked cats. I have to say it. There, I've said it. Dogs, master race. 10 out of 10.
Perhaps you should keep your voice down for the cat. Perhaps this cat knows you do not like it.
He knows what he did.
There's suddenly this coldness back in the inn. After she says this.
Is that true?
Maybe.
Oh no.
I haven't decided. Ladies, did you have a good night's sleep?
Yes, thank you so much, Axel. This was of the utmost kindness to let us stay here from the storm. And thank you for the warmth last night when I came in.
No, of course. It's my pleasure, really. Frankly, I wish I had gotten further with my plans for this. I wish I could have offered you more entertainment. You see, and he goes on a long tangent of all his plans and business ideas for this place. How about you guys roll an vigilance?
Yeah. No successes.
No. Oh, wait. What's vigilance? Logic. One more. Nope.
Yep. Nope. You don't notice anything, and he keeps going on and on about wanting to build like a game room, and not a video game room, but more for like cards and like poker and that kind of stuff. And he wants to like tear down the old stables and build new ones. You see, I think we need new stables. We have had a lot of traffic, but yeah, I've been distracted lately. It's been we've had some bad luck, really. Yes, so I've been distracted. I haven't been able to focus properly on these things. But I wish, since we're hosting these amazing people, and he looks at Mary again, I wish I was able to provide more of a, I guess, more of an international standard.
Oh, well, it is quite cozy here. I must assure you that I do not find your accommodations the least bit defective. And I must say that I would love a bit of a tour. Now, bad luck, you say. Tell me more.
Oh, roll manipulation, Mary Smythe. And give yourself a bonus.
Yeah, I have my famous bonus, which is +2. All right, that is 3 successes.
Ooh.
Well, you see, I guess. Well, you see, my sister, she passed away a couple of months ago, very suddenly, and if you ask me, she truly was the heart of this place. And she did not agree with my plans for it. She thought I was foolish, and she wanted to keep the traditions, and therefore I felt.
This is Esther.
Yes.
Okay.
He takes out a portrait of her that he has on has been on top of the fireplace, the mantelpiece. Is that what it's called? Mantel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mantelpiece. And pictured, you see a very beautiful woman who looks exactly like Axel. She has blue eyes, blonde hair, wearing beautiful jewelry, youngish, 22, 23 years old, but the thing is that strikes you is her braids. She has very intricate braids in a fashion that you've never really seen before, and it doesn't strike you as any cultural tradition for this area either, so it strikes you as odd. She and I inherited this place from our parents, you see, and well, I've been wanting to honor them by making it better, making it bigger. I don't believe you can be stuck in old times and old traditions, whereas she wanted to she wanted to keep it intact and continue to please the spirits or whatever she referred to it. She kept putting porridge out and did certain things that I don't care to know what nonsense that she was into, but she's truly missed though, and you can see how he's starting to tear up.
Yeah. She reaches over and she takes his hand and she says, I know not by what force I was compelled last evening, but having heard the story from Miss Karaskeva, Madam Karaskeva.
The Runo singer, the Runo
Yes.
singer.
Her story of the kindness in the midst of, the cold, oppressive force of winter, it seems to me that you say your sister's light is missed here, but perhaps her actions are as well. Would it not be so difficult to honor some of those traditions and welcome newcomers as you did last night to enjoy the fruits of your local traditions and cultures here, to learn something?
Perhaps, but the way I see it is that we need new patrons, new business, and where I would want to honor my sister and her memory, obviously, I just think we could just make it a little better. I could make a better, bigger stable, because the current one, it's old and it's falling apart, especially with these harsh winters we've had. But I hear what you're saying. I think you have a good point there. But and he goes back into salesman. And he's like, but I don't know. I just really love card games. If you ask me, it's just something about it. It's just exciting.
Do you think, was your sister opposed to changing anything about the foundations of the inn or anything like that?
Oh yes, but she doesn't understand business. She and he smiles fondly at the memory of her. She had her invisible friends, and with all these sort of things. Women. Oh, my apologies, of course. But they have their things going on.
Vanessa actually smiles knowingly when he mentions invisible friends, and she just is smiling and nodding, and she kind of takes him by the hand and pats the top of his hand, and she says, Esther sounded like a very special person to you and to many. Grief is not easy, and truly it never ends. It will come in many forms for your entire life. There will be happiness and there will be sadness and there will come change, but a forced change to forget is never the right path. I am happy to know you honor your sister, and I will keep her in my own memories. She sounds very lovely.
Well, thank you. I do believe we shall be having breakfast soon. Coffee, tea. He gets a little uncomfortable being emotional in front of you.
Yeah. Mary is sort of looking around for the cat and where the cat is while this conversation is happening.
You can't see the cat currently.
You'll have to excuse any impudence on my part, but I'm quite interested in this hairstyle. I haven't seen anyone here exhibit this type of finery before. Were these important to her?
So Esther, she often woke up with her hair arranged in these beautiful braids. But frankly, I still don't understand how that happened. Yes, it was a very strange thing to all of us. I think she just forgot that she did it the night before. She claimed that she woke up like that. And,
Hashtag no
exactly.
filter. Woke up
Exactly.
like this.
You know what? I never cared to ask her about her secrets. I just knew that she had them. And his voice starts breaking again. And you get the sense, yeah.
She says, she says, well, I'll go put in a breakfast order with the kitchen. And as she does, she asks for basically tea for the two of them and toast and everything. And she asks for a saucer with a little bit of bacon on it. So as they have breakfast, she just sort of sets. She looks around for the cat, and even if she doesn't see it, she takes the saucer with the bacon on it and she places it like down beneath the table, where a cat or some such creature could get to it.
The cat does not seem to come back right now.
Mm-hmm.
You might think that it's because it's too busy and crowded. And eventually one of the waiters comes to you and is like, Miss Smythe, I don't mean...
Don't feed our fucking
I don't mean to be impolite or rude, but are you expecting someone else that is of a different height than present company?
You'll have to excuse me. Your cat is a bit of a shadow, and I thought after last night when I tripped over him coming up the stairs and nearly fell to my death. So funny, but not really. And so I thought I would just put out a bit of goodwill, if you will. For the cat, so that they might not be quite so fastidious in their attentions to my ankles.
I see. And she looks over to the cook, which is her mother, and you find out later that it's like this whole family working there. Anyway, you don't need that backstory right now, but she is like, my mother insisted that I take the food from the floorboard, though, if that's okay. I can assure you we do feed our animals.
Oh, of course. I never meant it's how indelicate of me. Please. And she reaches down and picks up the saucer, embarrassed, and hands it to her.
Thank you. And nervously she goes back to her mother, who's been looking at Mary Smythe like, is she crazy lady?
Yeah. And she looks straight at Vanessa and goes, well, I really cocked that up.
Yeah, I do not see the cat that you are referring to. You keep talking about the cat. Are you sure that you are not the one who hit your little head last night from the couch?
Oh, Vanessa. No, you have not seen this cat. Are you serious? Only I have seen the cat.
She throws her hands up. Donna? No.
Spirits, she says, and just drinks from her tea. But they have a cat. I mean, they said they recognize. You just haven't seen the cat. It's not a spirit. Ugh.
Vlad looks suddenly alarmed. Ilya, the stagecoach.
He went to get the horses, or did he?
When?
Did he not come in here with us yesterday?
No, I don't.
Wait, but
and the more you think about it, he never came in with you.
But he led us to the inn.
He led us to your inn, but then when you entered, only Vilma was in there. And then all these people that you met. But he was never in there.
She wants to go to the back and check the stables to see if the horses made it.
So the two of you and Vlada, you walk towards the stables. It's outside, so you have to make another force check because it's fucking cold.
Oof. Alright, I will. Alright, 1 success.
How about you, Vanessa?
I think Vanessa stayed behind and is just surveying everybody here. She has an uneasy feeling now that she knows that Iliad is gone, and she's kind of just what is going on here?
Yeah, so Mary Smythe, you walk into the stable and you notice that everything seems to be fine in there. All the horses are there, and but one of them that got injured in the fall, you know that there's a band-aid around his foot.
Oh yeah.
Very, very nicely done. Like a really, really talented stable master must have done this. And also that the tail is braided in a weird way that wasn't before.
Yeah.
Oh.
She sort of clutches her wrap around herself and is peering out into that yard as the wind is just whipping snow across it. And she says, "What has happened to our friend? Spirits, perforce you chance to pass this way. See at once to my dismay. I prevail upon you, please. Where is Ilya? And I thank you for your pains. You know, I was never as good as Will, but it's the best I could do under the circumstances."
You improvise that rhyme right now, Anne?
Yeah.
Okay. No need to roll anything. Holy shit. Yeah, you see
So good.
across the field, or whatever you would call like the yard.
Yeah.
You see there's a frozen pond, and then there's something lying there next to it.
She sort of swallows hard and then drives herself forward, trudging through the snow to look at what is in the pond.
And it's Ilya, his lips blue from hypothermia. He seemed to have fallen or tripped on something and gashed his head. It makes no sense that he would get lost so close to the inn in this cold.
Why lead him astray so close to comfort? Oh, mercy, mercy upon us all. Vanessa, she calls out, and her voice is just ringing lost in the whipping wind.